Hi everybody, welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Terry Stiles, and in this week's news, there is a new director in town, and the intersection of Drainer and 24 takes another life. All that and more. The Oxford News begins right now. With the upcoming retirement of Oxford Township Parks and Rec Director Ron Davis, the Parks and Rec Board was tasked with trying to fill some pretty big shoes. And while he may be new to the position, Phil Castonia was selected as the new director of Oxford Township Parks and Recreation. However, he has been involved with the department since 2003. First as an employee for 3 years, working as recreation program and assistant director, then serving on the Parks and Rec Commission since 2011. While he will start his new position voted in with a unanimous vote on July 1st, currently Castonia works for Oakland County Parks in Waterford, where he's worked since 2006. He started as a recreation supervisor and promoted 3 times in the past 16 years, and is currently manager of operations, maintenance, and engineering. Congratulations, Phil, and welcome to the Oxford Parks and Recs. Jim?
An 82-year-old Oxford resident, Mike Hogan, died last week as a result of a crash with a gravel hauler, Drainer and M24. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office said Hogan was heading northbound on Lapeer Road, entered the intersection at the same time as a tandem axle gravel hauler heading southbound, driven by a 47-year-old Attica man. Currently, the police said it is not clear which driver had the right-of-way at the time of the crash. Gravel hauler trailer overturned during the collision. Neither alcohol nor drugs appear to be the factor in the crash. Mike, formerly of Lake Orion, will be dearly missed by his wife Gail, daughter Sally, and Dennis, 3 grandchildren, and 8 great-grandchildren. Our thoughts with the family. We send a prayer with them. Terry.
That's a very sad loss. 1 week after deciding to hold off on a full investigation of the deadly Oxford High School shooting, the school board changed their decision. Last week, the board voted to hire an independent law firm to conduct a thorough review of the circumstances leading to the November shooting, which left 4 students dead and several others injured. No timeline for the investigation was announced as of yet. Jim?
We've talked about this for weeks, and the reason for that, we want you to be a part of it if you are in so need of these fire alarms. The Oxford Fire Department asking the question, do you need a fire alarm? On Saturday, the 25th of June, Oxford firefighters will go door to door on Brab, Dewey, Ora, and Roy Streets. That'll be between 9 a.m. and 1 o'clock. They will be scheduling appointments for installing smoke and carbon monoxide alarms as part of the new Safety Begins at Home program. Under the program, the fire department is distributing and installing smoke alarms and carbon monoxide alarms, CO alarms, free of charge. In Oxford, homes where no alarms are present, the existing alarm doesn't work. There are also an inadequate number of alarms in the home. The smoke alarms are at least 10 years old. If you have a 10-year-old alarm, you'd be able to get a replacement. The alarms are at least 7 years old. Beginning with the home, it's open to Oxford Township, Oxford Village residents, particularly senior citizens age 55 and older, individuals with disabilities, and of course low-income earners. If you fall into one of the categories, please sign up today at Smoke Alarms and save lives. Having working smoke alarms cuts the risk of dying in a fire almost in half. When a fire breaks out, home occupants have 3 minutes or less to escape. According to the International Association of Fire Chiefs, to survive, you need to detect the fire early and get out quickly. That's where the smoke alarms come in. Funding for the Safety Begins at Home was again provided by a $10,000 grant. Our friends from the 4-County Community Foundation, donations from the North Oakland VFW Post 334, American Legion Walter Fraser Post 108, American Legion Auxiliary Unit 108, and that's Post 108. They're always doing something good down there. Curtis Insurance Agency, Cornelius Agency, Farm Bureau Insurance, Rotary Club, Oxford, VGC Insurance Group. Again, we want to make sure we credit everyone. Oxford Agency, Carter Quality Hardwood Flooring, Incorporated, Swiss Insurance Group, Oxford Lions, and the Oxford Lions Club, Oxford Fire Department. Again, everybody participating in this to make sure the residents have a safe home. Terry.
Well, the Michigan House unanimously approved a spending bill of nearly $7 million to help the Oxford High School community to recover from last November's deadly shooting. The House Bill 6012 will include funding for support services, psychological assistance, a family school liaison, a mental health director, assist with school resources, resource officer, security camera, and mass notification system. It will also include summer school financial assistance. Jim?
Thanks, Terry. If you want to know any more about this project, I can tell you here, but you can talk to my parents. It's right smack dab at their house. Hudson-Denison Water Main Project update at the intersection on West Burdick and Hudson. Planned to be closed from Monday, June 13th at 7 a.m., which again, and to connect the water main up to the existing one. Contractor is planning on having the intersection reopened by the end of the week. Again, that should be right around June 17th when that opening will occur. When the work on West Burdick intersection is taking place, the north entrance to the parking lot will be closed, but the south entrance to the parking lot will be open along with the entrances on Denison. Again, just that's all part of the project that they do have going on. If you want any more information, my parents are on top of it, I can tell you that. With that, Dave Kenny will have more. I believe he has a few stories there. I do not have sports, but I have news of the weird. You want to come back? Terry and I will be back to close it all out on this edition of Oxford News This Week. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from Automotive News. Cadillac is going dramatic with a prototype of its third-generation endurance car, the Project GTP Hypercar. Introduced June 9th, it previews the race car Cadillac will use to contest the 2023 IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship and the FIA World Endurance Championship, including the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The Project GTP Hypercar, co-developed by Cadillac Design, Cadillac Racing, and Italian car racer, or that is to say race car builder, Dallara, incorporates some of the brand's key design characteristics, such as vertical lighting and floating blades. It is powered by an all-new 5.5-liter double overhead camshaft V8 engine that will be paired to IMSA's common hybrid system. The Project GTP Hypercar is designed to be a showcase for Cadillac's engineering capability, craftsmanship, and technology. Cadillac has been competing in the IMSA Manufacturers Championship since 2017 with the DPI VR race car. The Project GTP Hypercar begins on-track testing this summer, and its first race will be the 2023 Rolex 24 at Daytona in January. In our next story, over at Honda, Honda's redesigned 2023 HR-V subcompact crossover is bigger, sportier, and available with a new driver assist feature for enhanced off-roading. Is powered by a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder engine with 158 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque. And while the base price is rising by nearly $2,000, it will remain under $25,000, making it accessible to the 25 and younger audience Honda hopes to capture more of. The second generation HR-V, on sale now, adopts a new architecture that puts it more in line with the latest 11th generation Civic, as well as the redesigned 6th generation CR-V compact crossover coming in September. It features an independent rear suspension for smoother ride quality. The rear, that is to say, the 3 available trims, LX, Sport, and EXL, can all be configured with front or all-wheel drive. Honda says the all-wheel drive system is improved for a more responsive driving character. Upon start, the system is tuned to send more torque to the rear wheels on slick roads for better stability. The HR-V also gets hill descent control, a first for a Honda utility vehicle. The base LX with front-wheel drive costs $24,895, including shipping. That represents an $1,800 increase over the 2022 model, and output is increased by 17 horsepower. The HRV is more than 9 inches longer and 3 inches wider, and the wheelbase has grown by 1.7 inches. The Sport model gets 18-inch wheels, and the LX and EXL have smaller 17-inch wheels. The LX and Sport get a 7-inch center touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. The EXL receives a 9-inch touchscreen and wireless app interaction, as well as wireless charging. Safety technology has been enhanced. All Honda HRVs will be equipped with Honda's Sensing suite of advanced driver assistant tech that includes adaptive cruise control with low-speed follow and lane-keeping assistance. Traffic jam assistance and traffic sign recognition have been added as standard equipment, and the Sport and EXL get blind spot monitoring. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and we'll be right back.
Back with you in Oxford News this week. We have no sports. Hopefully we'll have sports soon, because I came up with news of the weird. I know we're going to be talking about this one. I have a feeling Terry's going to talk about this with me at the end of our newscast. We'll find out. While people spend millions to look at their favorite celebrity, a man spent well over $15,000, $15,685 to become a dog. The Japanese man spent approximately 2 million yen to look like a collie, his favorite breed of canine. The man, who goes by Toko, said his lifelong dream was to become a dog. He approached the skilled costume company in Japan, Zeppet, with his unique request of making a realistic collie costume. They took 40 days to make the costume, as Toko kept giving them feedback till it reached its conclusion. I can imagine how those phone calls went. I really want it to look good. But Toko, the canine, move his limbs freely in the costume, would face some resistance when he tried. He also said he wouldn't look like a real dog if he moved too much. An employee from the Zeppet shared the employees also said that they spent a lot of time studying the skeletal structure of a dog to create the costume. Toko has a YouTube channel, if you want to log on, with his posted video. I have him walking in his collie costume. With that, we're hoping we get more sports in the future. I think Dave Kenny has another spot. Terry now close it all out. It's Oxford News this week. We'll be right back. Dog Eat Dog World.
Do you love local sports? Whether it's Oxford High School or Parks and Rec, you can buy copies of each game. To purchase your copy, call us at 248-628-9658 or give us an email at manager@occtv.org or talk to us at the next game. Hopefully we'll see you there.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Since the early 2000s, the growing level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has led to an increased rate of photosynthesis around the world, climate scientists have found. Plants produce energy through photosynthesis, which takes in CO2 from the atmosphere or from water, a process known as primary production. The rate of this can increase in response to rising concentrations of the gas. The phenomenon is known as CO2 fertilization effect. Now, Chi Chen at the University of California in Berkeley and his colleagues have quantified the CO2 fertilization effect globally for plants on land. The team collected data from 68 sites around the world with croplands, grasslands, and forests that measured the changes in CO2 concentration in the air directly above the plants between 2001 and 2014. Across the sites, the rate of photosynthesis increased, with an extra 9.1 grams of carbon taken up per square meter per year since 2001. The team calculated that around 44% of this increase can be attributed to enhanced CO2 levels in the atmosphere, while 28% was down to rising temperatures. The team then combined the data from these sites with satellite data and a global vegetation model to estimate the change over time worldwide. They found that global primary production increased with an extra 4.4 grams of carbon taken up per square meter by plants every year since 2001. The difference between the CO2 fertilization effects at the sites and globally is due to a patchier global distribution of plants and the fact that vegetation regions will vary in productivity. In recent decades, the total surface area of leaves around the world has increased. This is largely due to the CO2 fertilization, says Chen. Plants under elevated CO2 are observed to be more efficient at using water, which often leads to faster growth as water is commonly a limiting resource, says co-author Trevor Keenan, also at the University of California in Berkeley. They may also grow faster and sequester more carbon through other limitations such as nutrients that can limit the extent to which increased photosynthesis translates to increased growth. However, negative effects of the climate change may ultimately offset the CO2 fertilization effects reported in the study. For example, more frequent and intense droughts due to climate change are adversely affecting plants globally, as are more frequent forest fires and insect outbreaks due to continued warming, says Keenan. Although plants are buying us time by taking up more CO2 in response to more CO2 in the atmosphere, it is not nearly enough to stop climate change, says Keenan. Reducing emissions is the only way we can prevent continued future warming. Well, that's it for Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
So that's one of the weirdest stories I've ever heard. I just don't get it.
Okay, until we get to fall, or I get some baseball, or I'll try to find Little League scores or something. But I picked a topic: news of the weird. This guy, obviously, you saw it, had paid $15,000.
Unbelievable.
For a collie outfit or a collie suit. It's fitted to him perfectly, and he wants to be a collie. So
okay, well, more power to him if you got that kind of money.
Well, I get 15,000, and I kept thinking, and I started to delve into it. I was thinking, I always overthink things, and I was thinking, God, would you pick a dog? I mean, I'd go for the cat. The worst thing you're going to have to do is maybe use a box, okay? I don't want to go outside at
in the
19.
winter.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it gets
Come
cold
on, Lassie, we got to go outside.
Well, thankfully, this week we will start shooting the Little League games.
Okay, good. Sports
videotaping the Little League games.
Yeah.
I really need to stop using that terminology.
What were you saying?
And I said shooting, and that's probably not a good terminology to use right now. Videotaping.
Yeah, we're good, yeah.
Right, and then we're also, there's a couple more senior above 55, 55 and older
people,
games.
Yeah.
We have a
Younger
couple of
than us,
those
but older
left.
than them.
Well, younger than me, I guess.
I'm up there too.
Well, so we have a couple of those, and then we have Little League, so hopefully you won't have any more weird stories like that. That was weird.
So all I had to do was put a weird story in, and now we're going to cover sports again? That was great. Wait till you see what I bring
We had
in
a
next
little
week.
lull between the school sports and Little
Do you need
League.
an announcer to call any of the games?
Yeah, of course we do.
Okay,
we always need volunteers. We always need volunteers at OCTV. And if you didn't get to catch any of our programs, you can catch us on Charter, Channel 191, or AT&T Channel 99. You can catch us on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, and you can even download on Roku, the Roku app, and watch OCTV programming anytime you want. And with that, you can also, if you want to start one of your own programs, you can give us a call at 248-628-9658. If you want to volunteer, you want to learn anything about what we do,
I have an idea for a program. We can do the news. So when do we do the news?
Good idea.
Okay.
Well, let's close out the news.
Okay, anyways, that's going to wrap it up again. Thoughts to the Hogan family again.
Yeah.
Sad story there, and I know Jared
Friends
was
of
really
mine.
close
Yep.
to that.
Yeah.
We definitely want to say our condolences and thoughts. Thank Joe Calhoun for getting us on the air today. Joe Hewitt.
For editing, yep, Joe
editing.
Hewitt, yep.
Timing is Connie.
Connie gets us on the air too.
For Dave Kenny, Terry Stiles, your friend Jim Hughes. Until we do it all over again and roll down that highway of news, we'll be back again next week on Oxford News This Week. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.